Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, let me go ahead and jump on in. We're going to take a quick peek at whatever the signs and symbols are for the day. We have Libra, loud and clear, first off, and we have the Ace of Air, which should be like the Ace of Swords. I mean, I would just say very simply, we may have a Libra sending a letter. They're penning something. This is something where they've probably put a lot of thoughts into it. If this is coming from the mind of a Libra, then it probably is very balanced. They probably have found a very diplomatic way to say something. Um, but it feels like they are, I don't know, there's a little bit of like dripping ink, like with everything that they've been writing. They may be pausing here before signing. That could be like the final thing to do. And they're realizing like, okay, this is it. By the way, one of the signs or symbols could be seeing a griffin, could be seeing like a brownstone housing style. This very much reminds me of some of the brownstones like in London that I've seen. But it could also just be anywhere where there's brickwork, bigger, older cities. This could be Boston, this could be New York. Definitely we see a brick building though. Somebody who has like a brick fireplace specifically or chimney. We may also just have somebody who sees a bird sitting way up high, like on somebody's chimney. And this could be a symbol of like the birds are messengers. And this could be an unexpected message coming in. Also have the planet Saturn showing up here, but it makes me immediately just think more about, the movement of the planets as a whole. Mercury would be more the planet of, communication. But this, I don't know, there's something here. I don't actually get a very good vibe off of whatever this is. It does feel like it's a masculine sending this letter. We have an 8 of Cups, though, in the reverse. I was going to say, I don't get a very good vibe, like that it's happy, but maybe it's their energy that's not happy, because it looks like they're writing to ask if they can either come back or they are sending a letter that's, if we look at this, we have somebody who's like laying their heart out. If this card had been upright, it would be, I've thrown my heart away. I don't want this anymore. I'm leaving. But instead it says, somebody might be saying, I'm laying my heart on the line in this letter that I'm writing. We could have a masculine who is like, I don't know, like unzipping a vest or something like that also. And that could be a representation of like opening up their heart. We have somebody who keeps their hair very like, maybe for work or something, they keep themselves very, like maybe it's a dress code or a, hairstyle code or something. We have Venus. This is all about love. This letter is being written. It's a truth. And the truth is, I want to come back, because in this case, it seems like they're writing a love letter. They're writing about love. Why do they need to come back? Why is it they're just now exposing how their heart feels? Can I just ask that? We have the 3 of Fires, so the 3 of Wands, but it is sideways. We have all these little like, Legos, or somebody could have like little building blocks. This looks like, children's toys. But it could also be somebody like making a model of something. Because you notice that we have someone like who's holding the like blueprints for how to build this little model. It still feels more along the lines of like a toy though. But obviously it's about like building some kind of like a bridge or something along those lines, or castle and moat. That could be part of the representation of like, why is this person, I said, why is it that they need to even write a letter about like, I'd like to come back? Why weren't they there all along? And it's a little bit like maybe they've needed to build a bridge. Maybe this is about, the 3 of Wands is oftentimes about the future. It's about, what do I want our castle to look like in the future? Maybe this person thought that they could build a future without her and then come back and offer it. And now instead they're like, no, that was foolish. I should have been trying to build it with you. Maybe they thought they could build it all by themselves and then just have this to lay out, like, here, I'd like to offer you this now. And if you want to be in a partnership, you should probably try building it with the person, let them have their say in it as well, since they're going to be 50% of the partnership. I know this looks like their plans for the future have changed, and it seems like their plans now involve like more, companionship, partnership. We have a 7 of air, which is the 7 of swords, and we've got our owl here, who's a night hunter, coming in and trying to pick up that alarm clock. I definitely feel like the alarm bells are ringing in somebody's head. Maybe it's never been true that they just wanted to go off and build a castle without her and then come back and offer it. Maybe the truth is they've always wanted to build with her. We have a 5 of cups in the reverse. There's something here about, like, I can't pretend that I don't miss you. I can't pretend that I even want to do this unless you're with me. I do feel like this person was lying to themselves for a period of time. I'm feeling like somebody's having nightmares too. They might wake up like multiple times in the night. I feel like this is probably our masculine who's been waking up multiple times in the night, possibly with nightmares. And I wonder if it's because there is an element, maybe he's thought she's been waiting for him for a long time. We have this man on the moon, if you look outside at the window there. But remember, this card is in the reverse. Maybe he's starting to get this fear that, what if she doesn't even miss me anymore? What if she's not there waiting for me? What if she's forgotten me? He's been very distant, right? The moon is far, far away. But and there's an element of like loneliness. I feel like he's been solo trying to build some empire, and he's been lying to himself all the time that that's what he wanted to do. He never wanted to go away and build it. He wanted to build with her. But I think more than anything, those alarm bells are like, oh my God, what if she's not interested in building with me anymore? What if it's too late? That clock is really speaking loud and clear. And that energy of like, what if she doesn't miss me? So that could be the feeling of, I need to just go ahead and send this letter. But again, it started out with, if it's coming from a Libra, it should be fairly balanced. So maybe this person is, laying out like, here's what I wanted to be able to do and offer you. But in truth, I realize it would be better to build it with you if you'd be willing to build with me. It could be like a kind of a formal request, but they're also, they're very much being open about love, about what they want, but also about what they want to give. It does feel like this is somebody who is asking for, either the opportunity or asking like, would you love me again? I feel like I'm missing something here. What am I missing? Arithmetic. Okay, so there's a calculating energy here. What does that mean? Obviously, by the way, somebody could have blue eyes. Somebody could like have read their palm or something and have recognized, like, wow, if you look at your lifespan and you realize this is all you've got, how do you make the most out of it? I don't know if there's something about that's card 25, but it's really standing out to me as like, 0.25, like a quarter of something. I don't know if this has anything to do with like measuring, because it is the arithmetic card. There's a little bit of a cold and calculating energy on this. You have suspension. I do wonder if they tried to figure out how far they could go, still maybe keeping tabs on her, since we do see that eye in the palm of the hand, how long they could stay away, how long they could delay this. This is kind of the hanged man. This feels like they thought they could take it just so far before they would have to admit this isn't going to work. But it also feels like they've somehow put pressure by staying away on her. Like, How long do I think I can be gone before she might not still say yes to me? I don't, this feels a little bit calculating. We have the Earth card, but we got all of these grinding wheels in the middle of it. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little bit too callous in this interpretation. Maybe it's more along the lines of, we have only so many years, right? In on this earth, and maybe we shouldn't be squandering them. And it could be that also. Maybe they've been thinking not in a calculating manner, but they've been thinking, how much longer am I going to, lie to myself and insist that I'm going to go out and build some huge castle and then come back and offer it to her, when I know that that's not really going to happen. In fact, the life I've got right now is my opportunity to be with her. It could be that because I said, what is it that I'm missing? And it says, maybe this person has done the math. Maybe there's an element of like them realizing that every day they stay away from her, every year they stay away from her, a month or whatever, it's more time lost. We're not gaining more time. So if you're going to build with somebody, how many years are you going to build without them before you finally come in and offer it to them? What you're doing is you're reducing the number of years you could be with them, co-creating. So I do feel like, not that it's calculating, but again, maybe they did the math and they said, wait a second, I'm this age. I want to be with this person. I've done the math to figure out how long it would take me to save the money on my own to build some castle. By the time I would get around to that and maybe come back to her, we're going to be in our 80s. Like maybe he's done some kind of like logical mathematics and said, this is a ridiculous plan that I have. It does feel like he had to sit and think about this, and come to that conclusion. Like, no way, I can't stay away anymore. This is stupid. I'm eating up years, wasting years that I could just be building with her. So you know what? It's time I just send the letter. It's time I say how I feel. It's time I write a letter from my heart. And that's what this feels like. He's writing a letter from his heart. Well, I hope that that'll be well received, and I hope he doesn't waste any more time. Are you really going to send the letter? Because writing it is one thing, sending it is another. We have the Six of Air, and again, we've got that owl. The Six of Air is the Six of Swords. That's about getting calm and just sending it, because owls are, birds are migratory. They're also our ancestors. They're our messengers. There's so many things. I do feel like this could be a message that he sends at night, but I feel like he will do it and say, now wherever the chips fall. I'm not even going to stress out about this. I'm going to send it, and I'll just let this play out however it's going to play out. If she responds to me or if she doesn't, at least I will finally have gotten this off my chest. And I feel like he'll be at peace when he simply sends it, even though he still won't know what the net result is. At least not until the next day, especially if he's sending it at a weird time. He'll be sending this late at night. Let's get one last card. By the way, those owls are coming up twice, so that could be another big symbol. Mayoress of Earth, which is a Queen of Pentacles. We have the High Priest, which would normally be Taurus energy of the Hierophant in any other deck. But here they gave it card 10, which 10 would normally be the Wheel of Fortune. So we do have this weird mishmash of, this is not a standard deck, obviously, so it doesn't necessarily fit together in standard, tarot numerical organization. But still, I just, as a side note, this would be Hierophant, but also possibly Wheel of Fortune energy. We have a Five of Fire. That Five of Fire is the Five of Wands. It says he's going to send that letter and then just like relax and say, okay, I did it. I'm going to send it possibly in the dark of night, and then I'll just have to wait and see. But what's crazy is she might not be home. She's all dressed to travel. When he sends his letter, I hope he sends it to the right address, because it looks like he's going to have a whole bunch of time to be stressed out and wonder, did she ever get it, and choose not to respond. What's going on here? This feels like he's going to have to like really do some deep thinking and be like, what if she never gets my letter? I would actually say it this way. Maybe sending a letter in the dark of night isn't really enough effort when supposedly this is your great love. Maybe he's going to need to put in, more effort, a face. It looks like she's not going to receive this message. It looks like she's normally somebody who's very grounded, but she's dressed to leave and she's got a suitcase. Either she's moving or she already has moved. He sends it to an old address or an old email or something she doesn't check anymore. She does not get this. And that leaves him trying to figure out what the hell happened. He may wait day after day after day and be stressing out like, wait a second, how come she didn't respond? She didn't even, she didn't say anything. This is him thinking and thinking and thinking. It could also be, though, that after he sends it, he's calm until he starts to consider, what if she never gets it? How will I know? What are you going to do, masculine? What are you going to do? We have that Taurus energy. And I mean, obviously, it's like, or it's kind of like him saying, well, I'm going to have to go find out because I got to know the answer. I'm admitting to myself now, I'm not going to be able to be at peace until I hear back from her. She's got me in a headlock. She's got me on this one track mind. I got to know, did you get my letter? I got to find out. What do you think? Do you love me? Is there possibility still? I don't feel like he's going to be able to just let this go. The Knight, this is kind of like he's telling himself, if I don't hear back from her in like 5 days, I will go to the ends of the earth to go find her and have that conversation with her, because I'm not going to be able to let go until I find out. What do you think? He's willing to go on a quest and go find her. Maybe the letter actually comes back. I didn't think of that, but maybe because she's not there anymore, maybe if he sends an actual snail mail letter or an email, it could bounce back. It could be something where he's like, crap, what do I do now? Well, I have no choice. I have made this decision. Now I got to go physically find her. It could be that, because this almost feels serendipitous. It's like, this is the way it was supposed to go. He's supposed to put in more effort. He's supposed to show up. Okay, he seems to be, as we leave this storyline, this says we may have him discovering that he's going to need to show up. I don't know if he's only waiting 5 hours. To me, that looks more like 5 days or something. But there is an element where, by the way, she could be a Queen of Pentacles, a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, who is either quite the traveler or has recently moved. And he's sending this letter that I do not believe is getting to her. And he's got to consider what to do. And I think that the only thing for him to do is to go ahead and try to go find her physically, wherever she is in this world, and show up. Good for him for being that, definite. She may dress very well. She may be somebody who has like her own interesting fashion style. We've got her in kind of like a plaid coat or something, but with a like emerald green dress underneath. It's definitely like a style about her. She may have curly hair, naturally curly hair, and shorter hair possibly as well. But everything here says he's very prim and proper until he's like ready to go and find her. And then we see his hair growing a little bit longer, and we see him, caring less about like prim and proper and more like, I'm on this quest. I've got to know the answer. Does she still love me or not? I think we're getting a more real version of him is what it seems like to me. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribe.